All right, let's jump right in. We're looking at a place called Annawadi. It's a slum, crammed onto land that actually belongs to the Mumbai airport. Now, you've got about 3,000 people living here, and they are, quite literally, in the shadow of five super luxe, high-end hotels. It's this incredible collision of old and new India, and it's created this, well, this unique and often pretty brutal ecosystem. So today, we're diving deep into this world of Annawadi, what the author Katherine Boo calls a Mumbai undercity. And what you'll see is that survival here, it's so much more than just working hard. It's really a high-stakes game of ingenuity, of constant, nonstop alertness, and trying to figure out how to master a system that is fundamentally, completely stacked against you. Okay, so here's how we're going to break this all down. First, we'll look at the opportunity in trash, the crazy competitive market that fuels this whole world. Then, we'll get into the principle of alertness, the specific mindset you absolutely need to have just to navigate the dangers. And finally, we'll talk about the corruption ladder, which is a totally different and way more crooked path to the top. Let's kick things off with the economic engine of Annawadi. And listen, we're not just talking about people picking through garbage here. No. This is a complex, ruthless, and surprisingly sophisticated market that's built entirely on what the overcity throws away. You know how they say location, location, location? Well, for Annawadi, that is everything. It's right next to the international airport and those five massive hotels. And what that means is a constant, nonstop river of what the book calls vendable excess. Basically, a treasure trove of trash that just tumbles down from the world of the rich. Every single day, Mumbai pumps out 8,000 tons of garbage. For the people of Annawadi, that's not waste, that's a gold mine. And don't think for a second that this is some chaotic free-for-all. Oh no. It's a structured system of micro-entrepreneurship. It's like a supply chain. At the bottom, you've got the scavengers fanning out every day. Above them, you have traders, like a teenager named Abdul, who buy and weigh the garbage. And then, and this is crucial, you have the sorters. This is where Abdul really excels. He can meticulously sort everything into more than 60 different categories before selling it off. Every single piece of trash has a value, and every person has a role to play. But, surviving in a market like this isn't just about the physical work. It's about how you think. It demands this very specific, kind of heightened state of awareness. And this brings us to this amazing concept called chokana. It's so much more than just being careful. Think of it like a 360-degree mental radar that's always on, constantly scanning for threats, a jealous neighbor, a corrupt cop, even a sudden drop in the scrap market. It's this deep belief that you can see disaster coming before it hits. For a guy like Abdul, being Chokana is way more valuable than just being smart. And this quote from the book just nails it. A good life in Annawadi isn't just measured by how much money you make. It's measured by what you manage to avoid. The train that hadn't hit you, the slumlord you hadn't offended, the malaria you hadn't caught. Your success is defined just as much by the disasters you sidestep as it is by the cash you bring in. Okay, so being Chakana and dodging trouble, that's one strategy. But it's not the only one. For some people, the path up doesn't involve avoiding this system's flaws. It involves running directly at them and using them as a ladder to climb. And right here, we see two completely opposite approaches to the same world. On one side, you've got Abdul. His whole philosophy is to be a modest, missable presence. Just do the work, stay off everyone's radar. Then, you have Asha. She has zero interest in being missable. Her goal is to be Annawadi's first female slumlord. Her strategy? Become the woman to see, the ultimate fixer who uses grudges, envy, and politics to get ahead. And this, right here, is Asha's worldview in a nutshell. Get this. In a society where all the legitimate paths are blocked, corruption isn't just an obstacle, it's an opportunity. It's a whole other market to be exploited. For someone with her kind of ambition, it's actually a viable career path. And man, Asha sees opportunity absolutely everywhere. She uses her political connections to get a teaching job she's totally unqualified for. She turns her neighbors' little fights into a payday for herself. She figures out how to game loan schemes that are supposed to help the poor. She even defrauds a huge government education program and ends up clearing more than $10,000 from it. So ultimately, when you look at the stories of Abdul and Asha, you see this really harsh reality of the undercity. The system isn't built to bring people together. It's built to make them compete ferociously. It pits neighbor against neighbor, all for these tiny, temporary advantages. And this quote just perfectly captures the enormous moral pressure these people are under. I mean, when your family's survival is on the line every single day and the entire system you live in is corrupt, being good becomes a kind of luxury that most people just can't afford. Every single choice has a cost. So all of this leaves us with one final, really powerful question that gets to the absolute heart of the story. It challenges everything we think we know about being moral or being successful or even just being safe in a world that is fundamentally, structurally unbalanced. I mean, if the whole house is crooked, can you ever make anything inside of it lie straight? It's a tough one to answer.